Hold there!
We seek the house of Marcus Lycus.
Who seeks the mouse of Larcusicus?
All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. But how many of us actually have the courage to become a thespian? Ladysmith Little Theatre has 244 members, and these 3 actors are fairly new to the scene.
I'm pretty new. This is only my 4th production, and I used to be a singer before I did my day job for many years, and I gave that up when I got my real job. And then I didn't want to go back to singing again, but I thought I'd like to do something that incorporated singing, and I thought I'd like to give acting a try. So I did.
And do you see what it says there?
I first originally got into acting as a volunteer position, I guess you can call it. My daughter was in the pantomime in the Nanaimo theater, and I was a supportive dad, so I was in the audience, and a character dropped out halfway through, and they asked me to fill in, and I joyfully did, not realizing how much intense work it was actually going to be.
He's the car salesman, he's the charmer. Okay. Even if he's screwing up, he still goes through, right?
Okay. You have to listen a lot. You have to listen to the director, you have to listen to your fellow actors, and I think you really need enthusiasm, and I got a whole pile of that.
It takes a lot to be an actor. You really have to be dedicated to following through with your decisions and learning a new trade and overcoming a lot of personal obstacles that you may run into. Personally, I had an issue with performance anxiety, what you would call a nervous P. And I had to be able to learn how to breathe and of course listen to what other people were giving me advice as. Community theater accepts anybody of any capabilities, any age range, and any background.
He's about a quarter league away and bids you on to this. So just give it a bark.
Another member, Roger, started out in lighting and sound and came out of his shell when asked to step in for someone.
And next thing I knew, I had the part. It's quite the learning experience from going backstage to going to the main stage. I've learned that there is a lot of cooperation and a lot of teamwork, and there's an awful lot of work, period, when it comes to acting. It's not just the theatrics. There's a lot of memorization, there's a lot of work. It's great to have the tremendous support from the rest of the actors. They have a lot more knowledge than I do about it.
Roger's doing a great job so far. He listens well, and as I mentioned, I think listening is one of the most important things, and he takes direction well. So I think that's certainly a good starting point.
Roger is actually a fellow Protean, so we do a lot of acting together. I find him to be very enthusiastic. He brings a lot of energy to the stage, and I know that I can always rely on him to be there for me as my fellow Protean.
It's been something else. It's been pretty cool. As soon as I hit the stage, as soon as I even got backstage, I loved it. If somebody were to think about going into acting, I'd say go for it. Because if you don't, it's something that you might regret later on in life. Because you never know where this might actually lead.
If you're interested in performing for audiences or being a part of one, you can contact the Little Theatre for details on membership and upcoming productions. From Ladysmith for Shaw TV, I'm Melissa Hall.